Welcome to Level Up. I'm your host Hakim, and that show where we dive into real stories, real experiences. Today I have a really special guest. I'm super excited. He is a powerhouse connector, speaker, educator. He spent the last 2 decades showing people what really networking is. That is not really just networking, it's a way of life. Rolf or
Hey,
Charles, what
yep.
can I call you?
Roof.
Roof.
The
Welcome
roof's
to the
on
show.
fire.
Welcome to the show.
No, thanks for inviting me. I'm fascinating to see what's going to happen. I mean, I've seen you a long time. I know you a long time. I've seen your career grow, and I'm just thrilled to be here.
I am
that you
thrilled.
thought of me.
Absolutely. I think if I go back to when I moved to the Netherlands, you were one of the very first people I met, and I was really thankful you invited me for some of your events, which was really an eye opener to really learn a lot about networking and how talk to people and make really a network, which absolutely fulfilled and helped my career until this moment. So I am thankful for you, actually.
No.
Really nice.
I have to give the greetings from the Syrian family because you met
Yes,
Susama and that.
yes,
so I
yes,
told them I was going to be here, so they told me to make sure I give them
Oh,
greetings
nice, definitely.
Yeah,
and of
good.
course, we have to shout out to Samir Al-Awadi.
to
He's
you.
the one
Of
who
course.
introduced me definitely to you. It was really nice moment. And I also been following, of course, your activities and your networking. And it's amazing how you are really connecting everyone together in such a nice environment always in a really nice spot. We're always in a nice hotel or a nice, a space. So really great. And today I'm really excited to learn a lot.
No, I
And
think you know a lot.
I know a lot.
You know a lot.
But definitely I want people to learn from you. So if I want to start, I know you so well, but I want to give you this chance, maybe a quick elevator pitch about Ruff.
Good.
Go ahead.
Well, first off, I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and that's important to me. So I make sure that everyone understands that. And I'm from a large Italian American family. I have 5 brothers and 4 sisters, and I'm the bambino. I'm the little one. And I was wayward. My mother passed away when I was 14. So I was a little wayward, ran the streets a lot in Pittsburgh. If anyone likes Heinz ketchup, that's where I'm from. Pittsburgh is from Heinz ketchup place. And my brothers put me in the American Army. So I didn't have a choice. So they took me off the streets and put me in the American Army. And I was blessed because I went into a special unit, a special eenheid, as they say in Dutch. And I was 18 years old. And when I was 19, they sent me and 34 other Americans to the Kingdom of the Netherlands. So
Nice.
I was over here when I was 19 years old back in 1976, before you were born.
Definitely.
Probably before your parents even thought about you. But yeah, then I just was put in the American Army. I came over here and met my wife. She was 18, I was 19. We've been married for 45 years. And I served 20 years in the American Army in a special unit, which was with tactical nuclear weapons, what President Putin talks about. And then I stayed in the military for 20 years and I retired. But before I retired, I got my master's degree. And then I wanted to be smart because I wanted to book smart. Because when I left the military, I wanted to stay in the Netherlands. So I stayed in the Netherlands and I created my business, the Networking BV, or Networking Corporation.
Nice.
And then it just grew and grew and grew. And, as an entrepreneur, you try something just like you. Like I said, I know you a long time. I've seen you go from here to there to there. So you have the experience. Your knowledge is incredible of what you do in the hospitality ring and also for sales and marketing. So I think it's fascinating that you've started your own company because I've been an entrepreneur for many years. But to see you do that and to get out there and energize your network, because I find out that this is a friend of yours, so you're already networking.
Shout out to Jonathan.
You're networking already because your children go to school together.
Yeah, exactly.
Your son goes to school with his son. So as far as that goes, I mean, you're energizing your network and you're using it, which is what it's about.
Absolutely. And I think I've been, of course, watching you, and the network is just one important fact in my entire career. I think the moment I came to the Netherlands, what really helped me to start my career and even grow further is networking. It's just talking to people, getting to know people, and just ask questions and what things can we do together. And you're right, the podcast is definitely a platform where I can really activate my network and just get to nice conversations, share real experiences, and really learn something new. And definitely for me, I'm really excited for it because I'm gonna learn myself. And I want to start with the first section, which is really the origin of the networking. And you spent 20 years, as you mentioned, in the U.S. Army. What did the military teach you about building trust, loyalty, human connection?
Well, the military teaches you a lot, but of course you come into the military with characteristics that you've learned and values and norms that you've learned from your family. So it all starts with that, wherever you're raised. And as I say, I'm an Italian American. So there's family is important. Your faith is important. Hard work, integrity, and things like that are important. So you carry that with you when you go into anywhere, if it's work or if it's the military or if it's in the government. And then you come in contact with other people. Well, in the American Army, and I can only speak, I can speak about other armies, but I'll just say about the American Army, they call it a uniform service, a uniform way of operating. So when you come in, they try to break who you are. You come in with a character, you think you come off the street, you think I'm bad, I can do this, no one could tell you anything. You run, you can run around, whatever. And they break you. They break you to make you sure that you understand that it's a team effort.
Yeah.
So, they shave your hair off so, you like everyone else, you get the same uniforms, you eat the same, you sleep the same, you get up the same. I mean, everything's the same because they want to build a team. And what you learn in the military, what I've learned in the military is, and then compared to in business, is it's a team effort.
Yeah.
Just like you're doing now, you're teaming up with a friend of yours who has his company, and you're starting your company, and especially marketing and what you're doing, and all of a sudden you're building a team. So the first thing it teaches you is that you can't do it alone. You need someone else. And that's one thing. And the other thing is that you can trust the other person. Trust is probably the most important thing there is in life. You may say it's networking, but your life is a network. You're born with a network, and your network grows based on your values and norms, based on who you are. And, you could say anything, and that's what the military is. I know what you're made of. We've gone through different things. We have experienced different things. We have the sad and the bad, the good and the happy stuff. But also you're put in a situation where you're tested.
Yeah.
And in the business world, you're also tested. Someone will say, hey, listen, you've got a good idea, you'll succeed. But they never give you the business. They never give you the lead or stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the military, you learn quickly who has your back. Because if I call you and I say, hey, man, pick me up from a hot landing zone at 1 minute after 12, you better have your ass there. If you're not there, I'm going to kill you when I get out there because you didn't help me. So you rely on each other.
Trust
Trust is important in the integrity and competence. You got to make sure you know what you're talking about. And that's why I say when I see you and you go from one establishment, one company to another, you're building experience. You're building knowledge that you can say that, it's not just if it's a hotel, if it's a luxury hotel, but also it's a 5-star hotel that has a brand name. If it's the Marriott, if it's the Hilton Hotel, I mean, those are family names.
Exactly.
I mean, that's families that have created that. So that's a legacy that keeps going on. So they got to keep their reputation good. And if they say something, they do it. And that's the same thing what happened in the military. So I've learned a lot about what my family taught me about values and norms, carrying it over into the military and learning what teamwork is, what integrity is, what the understanding that person better be competent in what he does. And just like I said, you come here, you know that your friend has the competence to be able to do a great podcast. Make you look good, make me look good for sure.
Absolutely.
I'll make sure I make it look good. I didn't even ask if this is my good side. But anyway, but that's what the military taught me, to be able to take it over. And I still have a lot of contact with old military guys. I mean,
your relationship stays forever. Like never goes away. It's something that I learned across my career. I worked for so many brands, and my clients move with me. So it's all about the relationship. It's all about the trust, about the network.
And it's about the relationship. But people sometimes think because they have a connection that person is going to listen to them, is going to answer their email, is going to, send them a message back. But it's not always like that. I mean, it may be a good relationship now, but after a while, it may feather out, and it doesn't think. If the foundation is solid, and it's built on trust, and I believe that networking is not who I know, it's who knows me. And when someone knows you, they'll be there for you. When they know you, they'll call you. When they know you, they'll give you the opportunity, or they'll listen to you.
Like yourself, which I'm really thankful
like you.
for.
No, listen, you always, I reach out and you always are there for me if I needed something. Like I said, the Syrian family,
Definitely.
You met them and you talked with them and you helped them out with the encouragement and gave them hope. And that's what it's about.
It's all about that, really. Wow, just a few minutes and there's so much advice, out there. It's really, were there a specific moment, like a breakthrough, like, okay, networking is my way, this is what I want to go, like you found out this is what I'm good at, I'm gonna do this?
There was. When I grew up in a very tight Italian-American family, and I'd go down the street and someone would say, "Hey, are you a son of Giuseppe? Who's your mom? Who's that?" And I thought, "Yeah, okay." And then they say, "You want something to eat? Or you want something to drink? Or what do you want to eat?" And I said, "Well, yeah, it's okay." And I never understood that it was based on that they knew my family, and because my family built a relationship and it was based on trust and everything, integrity. You think, okay, what is that? It's because of my name, because of my family. And then all of a sudden you come in the military and you see that you're competent and you do your work well and people want you. In the military, if you got a mission, you call on the best. You're not going to send somebody down there that's not competent to be able to take the mission. So sometimes you become the workhorse. They always call on you. And it's like, why are you always asking me, sir? There's 5 other guys. Yeah, but I need you. So they know that you have the competence and you're able to accomplish the mission. When you come into business, now I'm making this transition from 20 years of military into the Netherlands.
Wow.
Because I decided that after we were married 14 years, we moved 11 times in the American Army. And we decided that when I retire, we would stay in the Netherlands. So it's my choice to stay in the Netherlands. But when I was working on my master's degree with Boston University in the Europe, I went to one of the classes, and somebody gave me a book. They gave me the American Chamber of Commerce directory of all the American companies and other major companies in the Netherlands. They're just not Americans. It was the KLM, it was the Heineken's, the IBMs, the McKinseys. And I looked at this book and someone says, "Roof, you keep saying when you retire you're going to stay in the military. Yeah, good. And when you stay in the military, you're going to get out and you're going to stay in the Netherlands now." I said, "Yeah." They said, "You need to check out this book." I mean, these are companies. So I looked in there and I see, man, IBM, McKinsey, all these other companies. I said, man, when I grow up, I want to work for this company. So I was stationed in Wiesbaden, Germany, and I applied to be a member of the American Chamber of Commerce back in 1991.
Wow.
I'm the oldest member of I'm still an active member.
Nice.
And I thought, when I retire, I want to work for one of these companies or start my own. So I applied for membership, and they came back and they said, "Why would an American soldier stationed in Germany want to join the American Chamber of Commerce in the Netherlands?" And I said, "Easy. When I retire, I'm going to work for one of these companies. I'm going to start my own."
Nice.
So I would drive 4 hours to come to Kasteel Wittenberg in Wassenaar, or go to the Hilton Hotel in Amsterdam, or wherever, to listen to Cor Boonstra, the CEO of Philips, or listen to Freddie Heineken talk about his expansion into other countries.
Yeah.
And I got 250 soldiers I got to worry about, and I'm still driving 4 hours. I'm there for 4 hours, and I drive back 4 hours.
Wow.
And I was thinking, I got to get prepared. I got to know how the market is. I can't just step out because I'm in the Netherlands and say, I'm stressbestandig, I'm doelbericht, I'm time managed. I did all those in the military. And in the Dutch society, they're going to say, military? Because they look at the military a little differently than we do in America. So I thought, I need to make sure that I become prepared.
Yeah.
So I joined and I paid like 450 guilders to
Amazing.
become members, and I would drive and attend an event. And all of a sudden, Buford Alexander, the director of McKinsey, he said, Ruffolo, you're a born natural. I said, born natural? He's the director of McKinsey, knighted by the king or by the queen any time, vice president of the American Chamber of Commerce. And I thought he must know something. Because all my books I've been reading saying, McKinsey said this, McKinsey like that. Who the heck is this McKinsey dude? It's a company. And then he says, you're a born natural. I said, born natural what? He says, networker. I said, really? So I made my business cards out, and I put on there professional networker.
That's
I
it.
made it there.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I thought, professional networker? What is it? And my brother came over, my oldest brother came over to Europe, and he was here for a couple of days and stayed with me, and he says, what's going on? I said, I just got invited. He said, invited where? I said, Roger Long from Nyenrode. Nyenrode is like the Harvard of in the United States, a business school. Roger Long, I gave him my business card. I had professional networking. And he asked me, he said, Ruffolo, would you give a training or speech on networking? I said, yeah, natuurlijk. Yeah, of course I will. I never did it before.
First time.
First time. And he says,
But the confidence, you know, yeah.
He says, what do you cost? I says, 1,000 guilders. He says, okay. He said, but it's a very difficult group, 145 very difficult MBA students. I say, Roger,
Give it to me.
can't be more difficult than 250 soldiers.
Exactly.
So I wrote on 3x5 cards, the little cards, index cards, I wrote my speech. And I went out there and I said, my name is Charles Douglas Armando Ruffolo. And I start telling my story, because networking is your story. I don't tell someone else's story,
Yeah.
because you cannot poke a hole in my story. If I say something, you can't say it's not true, because I lived it.
Yeah.
So at that moment, I realized that, wow, someone's going to pay me to talk about networking. And sure enough, in that group of 145 very difficult students was Chris DeFries, the country manager of Citibank.
Like,
And Chris says, hey, can you train my company on networking? I said, surely. Didn't know.
absolutely.
I came out with a training program. So
Wow.
in life, in business, opportunities come. It's how do you take them? Just like you. You see an opportunity, you're 40 years old now, and you think, okay, look, I got my kids, I got the experience, I've been all over the world, I know the ins and I know the outs, I know the good and the bad. Why can't I turn that experience into my business?
Exactly.
And that's what you
Yeah,
did.
Exactly.
And so when is it become a networking? I believe you become a networker when you're born. That your parents give you their network. They say, this is your uncle, this is your aunt, this is the neighborhood you shouldn't go into, and these are the type of people you should associate with.
Yeah.
So you're given a network. It's not the good old boys or the ring knockers. Everyone is
It's
born
upper-
with a
yeah.
network, and they're given
Absolutely.
that. And based on who you are will determine if you stay in someone's network. You know, people say, yeah, but how do you stay in someone? Your values and norms.
Yes.
Being
yes,
respectful.
Yes.
I mean, going the extra mile to help somebody.
Yeah.
Those are the things that keep you in the network. And you got to make sure you understand what you bring to the table.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Listen,
Absolutely.
networking is not what I need or what I want.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's
You're
what you
absolutely
need
right.
and what you want.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out, what do I bring to the table to help you? But that means I have to listen to you.
That absolutely true.
And then when you listen and act like you do with your business and what you have done, you've listened to a lot of people, because hospitality is very difficult.
Yes. You learn a lot.
You
Yeah,
learn a lot, and
absolutely.
also many different cultures.
Yes. Yes.
And you have been able to take that and apply it into your day-to-day life to be able to say, okay, just like you, I decided to stay here. You decided to stay here
Yeah.
too. And now you're building your business, your life in a different culture, in a different society.
That's true.
And that's where you understand that you have to realize networking is not who you know, but who knows you.
That's amazing, really, to hear. And what really sparked me with what you said, three like really important sort of skills or like talents that you should have or should work on is definitely first, you gotta get what you want. So you really hustle. You were driving 4 hours, staying 4 hours, come back 4 hours to make it happen, because you
Yeah.
saw there's something going on and I need to take this opportunity. And then the second one is confidence. Like
Yeah.
you have never give any before speeches or presenting in front of 140 people. It's not easy. It's really difficult. But you did it. You had the confidence. You did it. And that brings the third one, which brought you an opportunity. So other people saw you and you got connected and it's all started from there. So I fully agree with you. Is really something you want, you go get it. You see what you have, your network. This already couple of minutes you mentioned, I'm gonna already I'm writing down here. I need to go after.
No.
So
No,
really,
you do it. You do it without even thinking. Networking is natural. Everybody does it. But someone says, "Oh, because you know this person, you know this famous person, or you live in this neighborhood," they automatically think that they don't have what you have. And let me tell you, everybody has hope. Everybody has fear.
it's so true.
Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to have a great life. But let me tell you, reality, life is hard. It isn't easy. People think it's going to be easy. That's one thing about the young generation now. They think that they're going to have a very comfortable life.
Wonder why.
I'll tell you, that's. I think the social media and the things you see now, they think that okay, I'm going to be a soccer player, I'm going to be a rapper, I'm going to be get this big deal, or I'm going to invest in I'm going to create another thing like Facebook. And sometimes they fail to realize that there's someone else out there.
Absolutely,
And that
working
other
hard.
that's right.
Exactly.
That other person runs faster,
Yeah.
is smarter, and got a better idea than yours.
Absolutely. I always tell to my son when I want to practice with him football, like during the summer he stops because the season stops, and then I start. I continue with him, like teaching him.
Good.
And sometimes he's lazy, so I tell him, listen, there's another kid out there are doing, practicing now, running faster, shooting harder. So you better do it.
Yeah. I'm a good friend, Stedman Graham. I think you know him. Stedman said Michael Jordan is a good friend of his. Michael Jordan's a good friend of his. Matter of fact, he does a lot of things with Michael. But he says Michael's good because he practices.
Yes.
Practice.
Do the
practice.
work.
You got to do the work.
Yeah.
The work has to be harder than the actual game.
That's true. I heard it from so many sport athletes, or I think it was Asian Paul, I think. And he said that actually the actual work happens in practice, in the working out, not in the competition.
No.
Not when you're out there, everybody watch you, but actually when you work out alone, when you are practicing alone.
And
So-
as a soldier, you have to train harder than the actual situation.
yeah, that's true.
That's what
true.
we learned is to make sure that the training that you've done is more demanding than the actual situation you're in whatever that may be.
I'm trying to go to the list of the questions, and you're already answering questions that I didn't even ask. So really
That's what
nice.
networking is. You're pulling it out of me. You're pulling it out of me.
And I have to get ready with, of course, questions. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
but my next one is actually, what is the biggest myth people think about networking? What's something you don't understand really about it?
Man, they think that it's special. They think that they don't do it. You do it every day. You people say, well, how do you maintain your network? Well, look, I got up this morning. My wife got up. She said, how'd you sleep? I slept good. How'd you sleep, girl? Yeah, I slept good. Where are you going today? I'm going to Den Haag, and then from Den Haag, I got to go to Amsterdam, and I'll be home about 9 o'clock because I got to be in Amsterdam with some people coming over from the States. I said, what are you up to? Oh, she said, I'm going over with my sisters. My sister's coming over. Oh, good. Tell them I said hello. And so I'm maintaining my network.
Yeah.
See, it starts there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is true.
Then I go into my office and I turn my telephone on, and I see who WhatsApp me, because that's the quickest.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I can see my guys in Indonesia. The president from Indonesia was just in Paris. And I know the president, so I keep close watch of what he's doing. He's in Paris, and he brought like 415 soldiers. They marched in the parade there in Paris with the prime minister and president over there. And I thought, wow, okay, I see Probo, and that's good. So then I zap a WhatsApp to his right hand to tell him, hey man, that's cool. I seen that. So I'm maintaining my network.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll look and see who else, and I'll say, he called, well, I don't need to answer that person. Then I'll go to social media, and I'll go and look at LinkedIn and Facebook, and I'll see whose birthday it is. Because every day, regardless of where I am, I use technology to maintain my network. So I'll go in there, and I'll look and see whose birthday it is, and I'll wish him a happy birthday.
That's amazing.
Every day.
I do
every
that.
day.
However.
Yeah, I do that every day. I don't care if I'm in Paris, I'm in the States. I make a new birthday greeting on the 1st of January every year, and I keep it on the side of my
Really
computer.
nice.
And I use technology, and I go there and I say, click on to connections, and I see whose birthday, and I'll do this, cut and paste.
Yes.
And then if I've seen you or know something about you, I'll go and I'll say, hey man, happy birthday. And I may put a hands up, or I'll put a finger, I'll do prayers, or do something based on that person. Then I'll go to Facebook and I'll do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can tell you from my 19,455 connections, I at least maintain contact with them one time a year.
Amazing. Really nice.
And
nice to learn.
also the LinkedIn tells you when their job changed.
Yes.
So I can go and say congratulations on
Yeah.
job change. And also their anniversary.
I can confirm that. Definitely. You're always there.
And so you're using technology to maintain your network.
Yeah.
So one thing is that networking is not special. You do it without even thinking.
That's true.
But the world out there will make you say, because you are a woman, or because your ethnic background is different, or because you live here, or you don't drive this type of car, you don't have a network. But let me tell you, those Beyoncés, those Ronaldos, they need you more than you need them.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Because
Absolutely
if you
right.
don't go to that game or to buy that Ronaldo 7 jersey, he ain't making any money.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's making money on you because you're following him. He can turn to his sponsor and say, I have 20 million followers, and they're paying him. And what do you get? You get a nice little feeling. You don't get crap. You can't get in contact with him. So realize you do it daily, networking.
Yes, that's correct.
And it's however you go across and bring it across is important.
It is. I'm so happy to hear that. I've been doing similar things like when I was in hospitality, and it depends where I am. I think I remember when I was in Doha, Qatar, every client or every company, I would really get the birthdays. Like, okay, get the birthdays list.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
and try to go whatever the birthday. It doesn't matter who is birthday, but somebody birthday in the company. And I'll bring a cake and go there.
Yeah.
And it's really all about the little things because they always remember you. And what I always thought about, or my strategy when I was working in hotels, is one clear direction. I don't want to be just another salesperson. No, I want the company, when they think of a hotel, they think of me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I gotta be different, doing something different, and staying connected, even if you don't get the business.
No.
I remember I had a client where I was in Marriott that time in Qatar, and the client was Marriott was not yet open. It was the first 3-pack in Qatar, and across the street was W. Not yet was acquired by Marriott.
Yet?
It was
No,
before
okay,
2015, and they were staying there, and the company was American company, so they came to Marriott because they wanted to stay there.
Yeah.
But we didn't open yet, and we opened almost 1 year after, and then it happened that I gave the site visit to that company, and then it was almost 1 year. I could have just let it, you know? But I stayed really connected. Every month I was check, how was your stay in W? I even got invited to have drinks with them in W. You know? It was like, it was
Didn't
really
you do the W also in Amsterdam?
Yes, I did W in Amsterdam as well. And then directly after Marriott opened, the entire company moved, and it was huge business. I remember W hated me for that in Qatar. Like, it was a huge business. So it's really all about the
and
staying
also
connected.
I think with you is the same as like I am. You're sincere. You're genuine.
It's important.
You're not fake.
Yes, it's
Because
so
someone knows, you know, and I know they used to always say when you get a business card, this is a long time ago, you get a business card right on the back when the person's birthday is and you know, do these things. But that's superficial.
Yeah, you gotta.
When you're genuine, people know it. They know that you're genuine. They know you're not, you know, just doing it just brown nose or to butter up to somebody. You're doing it because that's your character.
Yeah.
You have a genuine concern for the welfare of others.
That's true.
And they see that and they can feel that. And that's what maintains it. Then they remember, it's hospitality. What's that guy's name? Oh, yeah. I'll give him contact. Or, hey, networking, call Roof.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's the
right.
sincerity that they know that you're not just, brown nosing or.
It's really true. It's a nice transition to my next question. I found it really an interesting one. You have connected with really royalties, business leaders, change makers, like really.
Like you.
Thank you. I wish.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, man.
How do you approach people in position with power? Naturally.
Well, define power. I could say
in business decision making.
Well, I wouldn't say in power. I would say first off, you got to realize what do you want from them, or what do they need from you. That's the first thing. If I go to, I go to an American Chamber of Commerce luncheon or dinner, or I'll take it easy. I go to my nephew's. He has a little hotel in Steenwijk, and he does his business. And it's probably now the only hotel in Steenwijk, because the other ones have turned over and given them to refugees and stuff like that. So he has the only hotel there. So he has power. And he asked me, hey, Uncle Roof, would you give a lecture to the young, business club, young business
Networking,
club.
yeah.
Some club.
Yeah.
He has power. He has power to put me in front of those people. Okay? So what I'm going to do, of course, is family, it's my nephew, so I'll definitely do it. If I take someone to an American Chamber of Commerce and I take them to a luncheon, and there, say, is the CEO of KLM, and she's there, and then somebody wants to meet that person, it's the position that they hold. Because the moment that person is out of that position of power or of influence, they're not sought too much. People don't want to see them that much. So then at that moment, they lose that so-called power. But they're still a person.
Yeah.
So I don't look at the thing as saying coming to someone power, because I know that they need something that I have. I just have to find out what that is.
What is it? Yeah.
So for me, everybody needs something. An example, you need business. I need business. Your friend needs business. So how can you bring business to that person? How can I help you bring business? Maybe you say, Roof, I'm just starting out, but you have influence. You have power, if you want to call it that. You have a network. If I wanted to go to a W hotel in Qatar or wherever, or I want to go into the Arab world, who would I contact, especially in hospital? It'd be you. Of course. That's the first person I would do. I'd go and find you. I'd get over here, get on my telephone.
Absolutely. I got you.
Hey, man, you know someone over there? So everybody has power.
That's true. That is
it's
so
only
true.
finding out what that power is. If you want to say power, I say it's the power of influence.
It is
because
definitely.
Influence is the most important power there is.
I agree.
Because you could be somebody of non-status, but still have influence in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And if I come into that neighborhood, if I mention your name, I'm safe.
Yeah, exactly.
But if I come in there and don't know you, I'm in trouble. So I would say it's finding out the person that has the influence and figure out what you can do. And it's not always, the Dutch, they say, ik en de rest kan stikken. In America, we say me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
But it's not always that. You have to have somebody.
Somebody, yeah.
And then finding out what they need and what they want is a very key element in life.
It's really nice to hear that. And the fact that you should put some effort to learn about, okay, who's that? What kind of, thing I can contribute or I can help with to make that connection actually worth it. Yeah. Because I think we are in a world, especially the business world, that, and if even more especially in hospitality and sales, there are thousands and thousands of salespeople. So if you really want to reach out to somebody, you got to make sure you're, considering his time, your time, and making sure it's going to be worth it. So
also that you bring something
value
to the table.
Yeah.
What do you offer?
Yeah.
What do you got? You know, we're working on a project, and one of the guys introduced this person to this other person, introduced them, and the project is moving on, but he's not hearing anything from either of those two. And so he says, Roof, man, I'm not hearing anything, man. I said, hold on. What value do you bring now? They don't bring any value, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I brought them together. That's fine. You brought them together. That's good. But they're not bringing in, if the deal gets done, then there's agreement that they will pay you. Fine. Okay. You wait for that. But but they could at least keep me up to speed on what's going on. They don't have to do anything. Okay. You brought them in contact. You got an agreement that if it goes through and they make business, you'll get a percentage. That's the agreement. They don't need to waste their day or their time or their hour to call you and say, hey, we just did this. Oh, no, we did this. Oh, no. Nah. So at that particular moment, you got to figure out what you bring to the table.
Yes.
And do you have any influence? You have no influence.
Yes.
It's gone. It's gone.
It's true. Wow, that's so much. I'm glad I'm recording this. Let's talk about the networking, which I have him sitting right here next to me. I think you spoke about the breakthrough moment in life that showed you, but I want to really go into the networking and how did it all started? What is the vision behind it, and where are you going?
Well, as I said, it started when Buford said you're born natural. And then I met with Stephanie Ward, and Stephanie Ward says, Roof, when I think of networking, you're the king. He thought, whoa, that's pretty good. I like that. So I contacted Jim Bowes, another good friend of mine. I said, JB, I need a logo. Make me a logo. And I want it like this. He said, yeah, but that's a word. Because really, I turned a word into a business. I'm branded as the network king. I breathe, sleep, and think networking. So something that I never thought would happen, happened. And then I thought, well, what is this networking? And I realized it's relationships that you build based on who you are. And then if I have a relationship with somebody, then it's like, okay, good, I can do that. So like I said, I put professional networker. Roger Long said, would you like to lecture on networking? Yeah. So I started lecturing.
Nice.
And then Krista Fries in there said, Citibank, can you train my company? So I then started training. And I came up with 7 training programs. Wow. So I used every word to relate to networking. How do you communicate to your network? How do you lead your network? How do you negotiate with your network? How do you motivate your network enthused? How do you give to your network? So I created different courses based on just taking a word, communicating to your network.
Amazing.
And then I did it. And then I thought, should I get my PhD or should I write a book? And I asked 2 good friends, and they said, write a book. It's the best marketing tool you can. So I wrote a book and became an author, and I published it.
Yes.
So if it costs $24.95, I pay maybe for €4.95 for the print, and I make 20. I ain't going through no publisher. I'm doing it myself. So you learn. So then I became an author and a book writer.
Wow.
Then I thought, I'm a member of this club, that club. I go there. I thought, well, shoot, I should just start my own club. And I thought, well, wait a minute, I like technology. So let me create a club on Network Club and put it online and have an event. So then I created a network club. I thought, wow, that's good. Then somebody asked me, hey, you're the network king. Well, listen, that's just my brand.
You are, definitely.
They said, can you bring President Clinton to the Netherlands? I said, President Clinton? In the first place, I don't like him. Second place, I never voted for him. And in third place, if it's business, I'll do something. So I thought, who do I know that knows President Clinton? And I thought, wait a minute, from the American Chamber of Commerce in the Netherlands, the patron honored member is the American ambassador, K. Terry Dornbush.
Here we go.
That I knew.
Wow.
I said, I'll contact Ambassador Dornbush. So I called Ambassador Dornbush. I said, Ambassador Dornbush with the roof man. Hooah! Because he knew I was ex-military. So I said, I'm pretty smart, so I know that you know President Clinton because you're the American ambassador, and many ambassadors in the United States are appointed by the president. So I says, how do I get President Clinton to come to the Netherlands? He says, call Dave Slate, his secretary, his scheduling officer. I said, man, that's easy. But it was easy because he trusted me, going back to the character.
Yes.
So I called Dave Slate, and I said, Dave Slate, retired Sergeant Major Ruffolo, hooah, because I want to make sure he understands I'm ex-military. Because in America, it's again different about military. And I says, Ambassador Dornbush told me to call you. How do I get President Clinton to come to the Netherlands? He said, pay $350,000, private plane, and Vance team comes over, hotel, everything, and you can have him. So then I brought President Clinton, and then he invited me to Clinton's Global Initiative in New York City.
Wow.
I went back there and I met
Huge network
Richard
there.
Branson. I met Carlos Slims. I met Angelina. I met Brad Pitt.
Wow.
I met all these people based on I'm coming into a network where I already had credibility because I brought President Clinton there. So they knew my background. So now my reputation and my character is being looked at. And then all of a sudden, somebody asked me, can you bring Richard Branson to the Netherlands? So I knew Richard Branson, so I called his secretary and I brought him to the Netherlands. And also when I was there, I met Al Gore.
Oh my God.
And then the Prime Minister of Aruba, Mike Ames, says, we're going to make Aruba the greenest island there is in the Caribbean, and we need a guest speaker. Can you get a guest speaker? So I said, I can get Al Gore. So I took Al Gore to Aruba.
Wow.
So again, and he said, how you do that? You do it based on the people know who you are. They trust you. You got a character. And it's not always, people think you're always going to do business. And 75, maybe 80% is not going to turn business because they don't have the budget.
Yeah.
They're doing something else. So you got to, as an undernamer, my brother always told me, throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. As an undernamer, you got to try this and try that and try this and try this.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know what's going to happen. But you have to stay out there. You have to be relevant to what's going on. So with all those things like that, I just created from someone asking me, can you give a lecture, to someone says, can you bring a high-profile person?
Wow.
And then I created a network academy to where I have guest speakers come in and they teach. And I do it where I get 20 people taking the course, and I take them to a networking event. I take them to a luncheon or a dinner, and everything they learn. So there's practical exercise and there's theory.
Really nice.
So you just divide it up, just like now. You got the expertise in hospitality. You got a global experience. So then you go and you think, okay, you know what? I always wanted to do this podcast. Now I have the opportunity because I'm starting my own company, because I figure this is the moment to do that. So then you get in contact, and then you notify your network. You tell you, hey, I started my company, so you're a good friend from the digital thing in Dubai.
Yeah.
You hook up with him after so many years. Now you're doing business with him. Yes. Now he becomes a client because he knows he trusts you. He knows you're reliable, and he knows you got the competence to do the shit. So now you got a client. Then you think, well, I can do the podcast.
Yeah.
So then you start podcasts. And then you think, well, where am I going to go for a podcast? And you think, oh, my friend, he got a podcast thing. So
Shout out to the podcast scammer.
Yeah, so you turn to the friend. Now you're doing podcasts. Before you know, I would say, write a book, because you got you got the stories.
Yeah, that's true.
You got the experience that people need. And look, it's easy to write a book. You know that. Very easy.
Oh.
No, it's very easy. You know the hard part?
What?
Selling it.
Selling it, yes.
That's the hard part.
That's the hardest part, yeah.
You can write a book, and most of the people don't make make
right.
money on books. Don't think that they become a millionaire with books.
Right.
Books are hard to sell. So you have the experience in hospitality. You can tell the stories, your stories, because in my books, I wrote 3 books, I tell my story. I tell them how I got President Clinton. I told them how I had failures. I told them how I was successful. I told them how the cardinal rule of networking is giving. That's the cardinal rule of networking.
Serving, yeah, I remember.
Is to give.
Yeah, to give, yeah.
When you give, you always get something back. Even though the person may be an a-hole, and you know what an a-hole is.
Yes.
That person may be an a-hole, but they gave you a bad feeling.
Yeah.
So now you know how that person is.
That is
Because
true.
when someone shows you who they are,
Absolutely.
believe
Absolutely.
them.
Absolutely.
Don't try to sugarcoat it and say, well, maybe that person,
You're right. You're absolutely right.
if they show you, believe them. That's
Yeah.
the way they are.
And that's
So that's what networking, how I created it. I didn't have no business plan. I just went out to the market and seen what the market needed. And when they needed it, I tried to provide it.
yeah.
And that's all what it is. That's what you're
I
doing.
love it. And the past since we met, I think 8 years ago, probably 8 or 9, and I'm really inspired about your energy and consistency. You're always out there. I always see you, on your LinkedIn updates with.
That's because it's free. If it's free, give it to me, man. I'm an on the namer, man. Give me. They say, oh, the Dutch, give me something for free. No, an on the namer will take something for free.
For free.
Any on the namer.
Really, really nice. Any mistakes people make when they are doing network that maybe should avoid doing?
Yeah, they all. Well, there's a lot of them, but I think the one that comes up is that they think that they always have to go to the decision maker. I need to go see that person. They're going to be able to do it, or put me in front of this. Oh, I need to bring a. I'll give you an example, and I'll come back to what I mean by that. I have a friend, and he's a very wealthy guy, and he brought a high profile person. Or I brought a high-pro person to the Netherlands, and they met, and the guy says to the high-profile person, "I have a project that I'm working on, and I'd like to get you involved in it." And the very wealthy guy says, "Okay, I'll do it, but I'll put in $5 million. You put in $5 million. We'll do it together." And the guy says, "Good, all right, we'll do that." He says, "But you have to go to the UK and see my team, and you got to sell it to them." Well, he went to the UK, and his team did not like him. He was too arrogant, too disrespectful. So you could say, I want to get in contact with this person and think that you're going to get the deal. But in fact, there's other people you need to make sure that you know.
Yes,
So why I say that is people always think, put me in front of that person, I'll make the sale. But you forgot about that receptionist, or you forgot about the administrator,
Absolutely.
or you forgot about the door person.
Absolutely.
Because everybody has a network. That's why when I go and train companies, they say we're going to train the sales department. Okay, so you bring the salespeople, and I say, wait, what about getting some other people in there? Why don't you get someone from the back office here, get something from the administration, maybe you can get that receptionist over there on there. And they say, what? No, this is sales. Well, you know what?
They are actually the real decision makers.
maybe, because I know how the companies are. They get together and they say, this is our target list. This is the companies that we want to get in contact with. And they're going to quickly try to go find someone there. But when they don't realize is that in their network, probably the receptionist, brother-in-law, is the CEO of the company that you want to get to. But because it's a receptionist, you're not going to give them that much time because it's so low. And why do you only give the salespeople the business cards? What about letting that receptionist or the back office or the financial people also get business cards so they can be proud?
And they open lots of doors for you.
Exactly.
Yes.
But the biggest perception is that I need to talk to this person. When in fact, networking, and it takes time to build. I mean, it doesn't come overnight. I can call people that I know 30, 40 years ago, and they're there. Because I gave them the same respect that I gave this other person and that person and that person.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm going to do business with. I don't know who's going to be valuable to me. You know, when I go places, I make sure I find out who's there in that area, wherever I'm going, and I let them know, hey, I'm coming to town. Just to see if something happens, I need help.
Yeah.
And maybe I learned that from being in an Italian neighborhood where you make sure you know who is, or having a friend in this neighborhood, or Shane Kelly in this neighborhood, or Ike Carroll in this neighborhood, or Dino Rochoff in this neighborhood, because I came from a diverse neighborhood. You know, Irish, the blacks, the Italians, the hunkies, the Polacks. I had friends in all those neighborhoods growing up.
So already natural
and
network.
That's what it is now.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right.
So the biggest thing is that make sure you do not just Focus in who you think is the decision maker or the top of the person. Treat everybody,
Everybody.
and meet other people, not just there. And that's the
Wow.
big perception.
Amazing. Oof, I can stay with you talk forever.
No,
Seriously.
don't do that, man. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
No, I don't want that, man. I
We're-
like you. I don't like you that much, man. Come on now.
We're almost end of the session today, but
What? I thought you said we were
Yeah.
going to talk like for
for 4 hours.
4 hours. What time is it? Oh,
But I have
shit.
few
You gotta pick
like
up your
end
son.
up takeaways, some few questions, few answers. Your all-time favorite event networking you attended?
That would be going to Clinton, the first Clinton Global Initiative, and took my sister with me.
Nice.
That was the first thing.
Special moment,
Yeah, I invited her up. She's also ex-military. And I invited my older sister, because I'm the youngest. I invited her, and we stayed in the hotel together. And she met, all these people that I was meeting, and it was just so nice to be with my sister. And it was in New York City, and after that we took a little ride with a cart, on a bicycle.
Yeah,
took us
yeah.
to New York City and
Nice,
stuff like that.
really
And I
nice.
just looked over and I think, and my big sister's with me.
Nice.
So it was the event for Clinton's Global Initiative.
Amazing. Yeah,
That was
absolutely can be
nice.
definitely.
No, I liked it.
One person you still want to meet?
I know him. I know him only by legends and readings, but I would like to meet Jesus Christ.
Wow, that would be
I'd like to meet
the
him
goal.
personally.
That would be the goal.
Yeah, that is.
That is
and
the goal.
And I will meet him. Believe me, I will meet him.
Yes, I believe you. I believe you.
I know I'm meeting him.
I believe you. One book every networker or everyone should be.
Come on, man. You
thinking
know I'm
of.
going to talk about my
Yeah.
book. I could talk about my first book,
Yes,
Networking Ways
yes.
to Success.
The networking, shout out.
No, the relationship built on networking. My books.
I'm gonna definitely share it in the
That's
description and also share your details so people can reach out. Any words you want to end up with? Anything you lived by?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it, and I know you know it very well, is about giving back. 26 years ago, I started a foundation here in the Netherlands called the Giving Back Foundation, where we go into black schools in Holland,
Oh, nice.
which is a discriminating fact. And we ask the teacher to give us the best motivated, enthusiastic kids where their parents support them, and they get in the high schools. And these are kids from the Schilderswijk, Johan de Witt. That's from the Belmer, OSB, Open School Belmer, in Utrecht, in Rotterdam, in Eindhoven. And we ask the teachers to give us their best kids. And then they're given a mentor. And when they're finished with the high school, they go into the university and they get a coach.
Oh, nice.
So I believe, because I've seen in the business world that there are certain types of people that don't come to a high level. Those are women and people of different ethnic backgrounds in the Netherlands. Now, it's changing, but it's still that way. So when I came in there, I can come in and say I'm an American. I can pay with American dollars. I can talk about this. I can say this, and they accept me. But if I bring in someone from Suriname or someone from Syria or Somalia or someone from China that's different, sometimes some people don't, already treat them as well as they, I think, could be. So what I did was I energized my network and I created Stichting Giving Back, Giving Back Foundation. And it's 26 years. And
Amazing.
I mean, it's amazing that you see if you give someone an opportunity, you're giving back. You get a lot back. And so for me, I believe what it says in the good book. It says,
I believe in it too.
I know you do. It says, to those that much is given, much is required. And my man, I've been given a lot. So it's important to give back. I mean, and it's not to say, okay, I got this and you get this. No, you give back what you can. If it's the time of day, if it's your compassion, if it's a lift to go somewhere, if it's a money, if it's whatever that you're giving of your time to someone else, and that's what giving back. There's so many. I mean, for 26 years, there's a couple kids that I can point out that thing. But the one that I use often is Noor Akkar. Noor Akkar is a Somalian. who grew up in the Schilderswijk in Den Haag. That's a bad neighborhood, they say, of a lot of Arabs. If you go to Amsterdam Zuidoost, you got the Belmer. That's where a lot of African descents come. But in the Schilderswijk here in Den Haag, close by here, where I'm going after this, Noor I know since 2002. So I know him 23 years.
Oh my God.
I know him since he was 15. I know his father. I know his brothers, his sisters. I know him. And Noor even worked for me for a while. I had him do some marketing stuff for me. And Noor called me one day and he says, Roof, come on up here to my office. I said, hey, you got an office? Because he was in the company where he worked on, where he was a partner in another type of company. But now he says, this is a different type of office. I said, shit, okay. I said, give me the address. So he sent me the address. I programmed it. It takes me 2 hours to drive here from where I live. And I park under the city hall in Den Haag. What the hell am I doing in the city hall in Den Haag? So I come up and sure enough, I go to the receptionist. And I said,
What?
I thought maybe he's behind the receptionist. And I says, I'm here for Noor Carr. I said, oh, okay. So all of a sudden, a woman came down, escorted me upstairs to one of the floors. Now I go into his office. He's the deputy burgemeester of Den Haag.
Whoa.
Noor Carr, a Somalian in the Schilderswijk.
Nice.
And I said, Noor, he says, hey, Roof, come on in there. He says, remember I told you where the police would always stop me? Because I'd be driving and they'd go, because his wife is Moroccan, he's a Somalian. He said, they'd always stop me. He said, now they're escorting me. I said, good, yeah. Wow. So when
Amazing.
You give somebody respect, and respect is earned, it's not given.
I agree, fully agree.
When you give it to them and you treat them like they're a human being and then they have value, God does a lot of good things.
I fully agree with you. Wow.
Look at you. Look at you now, man.
I am, well, if I end it with, or I have to say something to end it, I am really thankful for your giving time to me.
Oh,
really, it was really special. I'm super inspired, super energetic for next and what to do. Really thankful for your time and all the nice learnings and stories and sharing. I'm sure everybody will listen to this, will learn a lot. And we stay in touch, definitely. I will share your information in the description in the video so people can reach out to you. I'm also very thankful to Jonathan as well for the podcast camera.
There you go.
Really nice. Thank you for having us. And of course, got a shout out also for the podcast if somebody needs to.
Yeah, hold on. Let me take a picture of Jonathan.
Yes.
I'll post that also. I got to turn my. First I got to turn my telephone on, man.
I will take it.
Take a picture of Jonathan there.
I will take it.
And then Jonathan can take a picture of us here.
For us, yes, definitely.
I'll take some the camera next.
Yeah, and we take a quick selfie. Nice. And yes, really, it was really special. And I'm really excited to continue following you. It's really nice. Yes, your sign.
That's it. That's
Yes.
the sign. That's the handshake. We're
Yes.
Jonathan, can you take a picture of us?
Yes, I'll shut down the recording.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.